Hey everyone, Jeff here. It's been a little while since I've done an update, so I have a lot of records to show, and today is just going to be a vinyl update talking about some of those records. So what you're going to be hearing in the background today is Reconciled by The Call. I believe these guys were a band from San Francisco, and this album came out sometime in the 80s, 1986. This was a blind buy for me at the flea market. I just picked it up because the cover looked kind of interesting. It was only $1, and I'm only on the first song right now, but so far it does sound like some pretty cool stuff. So we'll see how the album is. So that's what we'll be playing in the background. A couple other records I got recently at a flea market were Waiting for the Sun by The Doors. I've had the music for a while, but I never had a vinyl copy. Found this for $1. Really, really awesome. Everyone knows The Doors. Most people that know The Doors probably have this record. So, very nice to get that. Also got Country Life by Roxy Music. Hopefully the video doesn't get taken down because of that cover, but, you know, gotta cover that up. Really great album. Roxy Music is a fantastic band in the kind of art rock, mildly progressive vein of 70s rock music, and this is really, really cool. So if you see this, you know, I guess for any price, really, but especially if you see it cheap, definitely pick it up. Now, another one I have here is Sheet Music by 10cc. Some of the stuff I heard by 10cc didn't really do it for me, and I only got a chance to spin this once, and it didn't sound fantastic, but there were a few songs on here that I really liked, so I think if I let it grow on me a little bit, this will be something I really dig. So, Sheet Music by 10cc. Now this is one that I picked up. This was, again, I got it for $1 at a flea market as a blind buy. Hard Work by John Handy. And the reason why I picked this up was because it was on the ABC Impulse label. And Impulse put out, I mean, well, you know, Impulse put out a lot of great stuff, especially like John Coltrane. So anyway, I saw this and I was like, you know, I'll take a gamble on it. It's only $1, and really, I gotta say, I did not like this one. I'll need to listen to it again because I think there was one song on here that I did like, but most of it is very, very bluesy. There's some vocals on here that just aren't interesting, and I don't know, just not for me. So, it's still cool to get it for the label, and there, like I said, there was one song on here that I liked, but anyway, got that. Another one I have here, this is also a jazz record, Drum Ode by Dave Liebman. This is really, really cool. Picked this up at a guitar shop for $5, or yeah, $5 I paid for this on ECM. Anyone who knows Dave Liebman probably really, really likes Dave Liebman, and you've probably heard this record if you're into Dave Liebman, but if you're not, really, really good stuff. You know, he's the sort of jazz musician that isn't afraid to do something a little bit different, and you can definitely hear that on this record, so very cool to get that. Now I guess, yeah, a lot more flea market finds here. You know, I do go to flea markets quite often, and that's where I get most of my collection at this point. One of them is Song of Seven by John Anderson. John Anderson, of course, being the singer for Yes. This album's okay. A couple songs in here are really good, but John Anderson has definitely put out better records. But still, you know, I really do like Yes, and I like collecting Yes. So, very cool to get this John Anderson record. Picked up 2 Richie Havens albums at the flea market. Alarm Clock and Something Else Again. I did get a chance to spin both of these, and they were both really cheap, and the covers are kind of worn, but they do play all the way through pretty perfectly. So, I really, really love Richie Havens' voice. I like the way he sings, and, you know, it's not the sort of music I'm going to listen to all the time, but there's definitely some really good things about those albums, and like I said, Richie Havens is a very, very good singer. So, very cool to get those. One more flea market find here. Yngwie Malmsteen with Rising Force. I guess this is called Studio Live 85. This was a little 12-inch single EP release that came out in 1985. I only paid, I think I only paid $1 or $2 for this. So really good find. I really do like Yngwie Malmsteen. I guess, you know, some of his stuff probably people would say is a bit cheesy, but he's a fantastic player and very catchy songs. So very nice to get that. Let me see. I've got a lot more flea market finds here. I'll pull all those out. First is Hey Gira by Joni Mitchell. Love Joni Mitchell. I understand that she turned 70 recently, I believe. Yeah. I already had this record, but the other copy was very water damaged on the inside, so nice to get a very clean copy, and this is just such a great album. Joni Mitchell is really a fantastic artist, so yeah, if you haven't listened to Joni Mitchell, that's something you definitely need to fix. Very nice to get that. Got this album by Crawler. These guys were a rock band. This came out in '77. And I mean, there's nothing that memorable about this. I listened to this a couple weeks ago, maybe even only a week ago, and I really don't remember anything about it. It's just, you know, it's just average rock music from that time period. So if you're really into that style, then this might be something to get, but otherwise, nothing really essential here. Julian Lennon with the album Valote, I guess is how you would say that. Picked this up at the flea market for $1, and, you know, of course, Julian Lennon is the son of John Lennon, and that was really what made me check this out. And it actually turns out that this is a really, really good record. Julian Lennon definitely is a talented songwriter and a good musician, so wasn't expecting this to be as good as it is, so very happy to get that. Talking Book by Stevie Wonder. Really like Stevie Wonder, and this is one I was missing in my collection. There's actually some Braille on the cover, which is interesting. But anyway, very cool to get that. I think I have 2 more flea market finds here. First is War Child by Jethro Tull. Of course, I did already have this, but this is a much cleaner copy, so I picked that up. Got the first solo album by Paul McCartney for only, I think I did only pay $1 for this. So the condition is a little bit scrapped, but I really love the Beatles, love Paul McCartney, and this was kind of a big gaping hole in my collection. So good to fill that. And I will say that I don't think this is one of McCartney's best albums, but it is one of his bravest albums. So yeah, very cool to get that. So I got 2 more records to show. This one I picked up at a record store. This is Sky. And I believe that, well, so this was released as their first album in the US, but it was their second album in Europe or something like that. But anyway, it is released as their debut album here, even though it isn't actually their debut album. But double album of instrumental progressive stuff. And it does sound very unique. There really isn't anything else that sounds too much like this, even within the instrumental progressive rock vein. So, pretty cool little album. And if you can see this cheap, I think I only paid like $3 or $4 for it. You know, if you run across a copy of this, definitely pick it up. Last record I have to show today is Witness by Spooky Tooth. This is actually my first encounter with Spooky Tooth, and I just picked it up. It was only $7, and you know, a lot of people really like Spooky Tooth. I was later informed that this is one of their weaker albums, but I still actually really liked it. So if I like this, I'm thinking that there's stuff that people really like should be even better. So yeah, Witness by Spooky Tooth. Very cool to get that. And that concludes today's vinyl update. That's all I have to show today, but plenty more things sitting around that I can talk about. So, hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. That's just around the corner right now, and I'll see you all next video.